Okay, I'm just doing a very quick session here regarding what happened yesterday, what went wrong basically, and then kind of started a domino effect. Because first things first, nothing has changed. I'm the same person, my knowledge is the same, skills is the same, amount of time I've spent in the industry hasn't changed, probably gone up by a few hours. But the key thing from my introspection that I figured out that triggered the whole, the loss basically, and how we could hopefully, with this review, try to address that and avoid that mistake. Okay, so basically, what I'm saying is by the time I was here, this is fine. I allowed the initial 50, so this is 9:30, and this was, I believe, 9:29, I think. Hold on one second. It was, I think, I allowed a good 10 minutes to. That's basically what I do, just to that helps me see where the market is going to go, what it's going to do, how it's going to move, all that vital piece of information that's necessary to make a decision. So basically, it was basically 9:39, so that's like 9 minutes after, so 5 minutes in my favor. Good, okay, that's basically what we want, right? Now, yeah, we did originally actually start to get this. As you can see, the entry is at, I think, at 319. Uh, no, sorry, not. Basically, just here, right? So we did have this. This is positive on-side signal. Not to mention another pertinent close again. That's giving me confidence I'm on side, and this might actually just stay open. We might just sink lower, right? Perfect day, low range. Yes, that can even happen as well. But what we should have, I think, noted as well is yes, it can. It absolutely can sink. But look, there's no turtle soup. It's just kept sinking, sinking, sinking right from the London. What does that show you right away? That function of a turtle soup. First of all, what is that? Off. That's gonna disturb the liquidity on the other side, right? It's gonna go up and then come down. Now, because that's not happened, we will still do the function. Remember, the function is basically the veins of the market, the key idea of the market. The market will not move without that. That's basically the market. That's literally how this fucking market moves, up and down. It never ever fucking goes in a straight line. Unless it's some fucking manipulation, it's never gonna do that. The fact that it did not do a buy side rate, that tells me we're gonna do one here. But since we didn't, we kept closing. That means, okay, well, yeah, it is weak. It may not do that, so I did short it. But guess what? This told me what? Now this is where the feedback comes in. I'm not saying you did anything wrong with trade one. In fact, I did absolutely right. Low risk, managed it, followed my plan, everything. Nothing. I have no conservations. The trade two is where the issue starts. It was way too quick. That's basically what happened. We got taken out here, I think, on this candle, and then this is where we just went in again, just because it's a 5 minute close in what? It's not even. I think we were looking at this range. I think we could have looked at this range, but I think I would have still demanded a lot more. I would have looked at it and be like, okay, cool. If it's really gonna run, it's not gonna run a little bit. The fact that it's leaving this open, and if the idea is that this is gonna keep going, then I could afford to close it here, MK2 style. Still, I can enter. It's eligible, but I'd rather still wait, or I can still enter and just observe it. And then basically what I'm trying to say is at least you should have waited for 50% overlap of this. A 5 minute body closing here, reacting to like some order block or some BISI or a SIBI, which we did not. We just shorted as soon as the stop loss was hit. Revenge trading 101 there. Quickly going back in after you've been taken out without concrete evidence that now it's going to play out. I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. Sometimes I've done that, clearly. For example, the other day we were taken out on a long idea and we just figured out that it was a Judas. And as soon as stop loss was going to hit, I didn't even wait for that. I closed it. I went short and it just exploded. Okay, but there was sound logic there. There was the logic that the Judas is coming to an end. Here, that was not the case. Now, because we did not do a buy side rate here, that function is now going to come in here. I'm not saying it's going to do a full on buy side rate. Clearly didn't. This high was intact, but it's going to do something of that sort. And what is a buy side rate? Basically stopping on side traders. So on side traders are shorts. They're here, 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 like me. They got taken out here. They got taken out some more, a lot more here, and that's basically the issue. You went in too quick on the same idea. Because when this happens, two things should be running through my mind, which do most of the time. Either we're going to defer the move, most likely, because I still think this is bearish, or we're going to actually reverse, okay? For reversal, okay, we waited for a 5 minute close above this and we got one here at 14, and then literally right after that you just got one closing lower. I think the idea is I'm getting too trigger happy with MK2s. I want to say. So let's just dial it down a little bit. Let's go back to the basics that basically got me this far. The basics are I'm only looking at the body closes as evidences. They're not in themselves in any shape or form conclusive. I still need a shift. I still need continuous closes above. Okay, what's continuous? Continuous is 14 closed here. 19 should not fucking close all the way there. Why is it closing there? You know, if it's really bullish, we don't want to give these guys a chance to get back in. We did. We're going back. So if we're going back, not even doing a pullback here, and we obviously longed here, and this was suspicious to me as well when it did this. I'm like, no, it should go up now. There's no need to go. They've already trapped people if it's gonna reverse, but it did not. It was just a deferred move to 1030 or close to 1030, and then obviously I saw this 1029 candle, and that was a good MK2 entry only because we have several things behind us here. We have leaving this year intact, and when going down, not even retracing, literally just going one way down. We don't want to give the, because the onside direction always does this. It doesn't want people another chance. So 1029 is not going to give them another chance to get in. And then that's a 15-minute close as well, below the 50% of this. After onside traders shorts have been stopped, liquidity rate here, turtle soup, shift in market structure here. But this was valid to enter on one contract, and this will confirm it, so we can add the rest of the risk on. And then obviously we will ride this to we take profit like we did on the demo account, but because of these two trades that were not taken properly, we added the loss up, and the loss was too much for me to then take this risk basically. So I still managed the risk, which is good. I still read the market right, but I just read it right a little bit late when I've already had two losses. So something to learn. Okay, again, मैं पहले से ये सोच के बैठा हुआ था कि अभी अच्छी स्ट्रीक आ रही है, बुरी स्ट्रीक भी आएगी, थोड़े से बुरे दिन भी आएंगे, मार्केट थोड़ी सी डिफिकल्ट होगी, थोड़ी आहिस्ता मूव करेगी, थोड़ी ज़्यादा मैनिपुलेट हो जाएगी, और फिर मैं देखना चाहता हूँ मैं रिएक्ट कैसे करता हूँ, और वहाँ पर जो मैं रिएक्ट करूँगा ना, डिपेंडिंग ऑन कैसे रिएक्ट करता हूँ, वहाँ पर मेरी कामयाबी या कितनी मुझे भी और प्रैक्टिस चाहिए कामयाब होने के लिए मुझे पता चलेगा। और अभी मुझे फिलहाल फीडबैक ही मिल रहा है, ठीक है, रिस्क में मुझे प्रैक्टिस थोड़ी चाहिए। हालांकि ओवरऑल में ठीक हूँ, मैंने कंट्रोल तो फिर भी किया ना 3 ट्रेडों के बाद, लेकिन 700 नहीं होना चाहिए था एक दिन में यार, कम ऑन, 700 नहीं होना चाहिए था। कब 700 नॉर्मली प्रॉफिट बनाती है एक दिन में, इतना इजीली नहीं बनाते। कुछ दिन आए मैंने बनाया, 1000 भी बनाया हुआ, लेकिन इतनी आसानी से नहीं बनता, इसलिए 700 इज वे टू मच। इट नीड्स टू स्टॉप एट 4-5, बोथ वाज 500, एंड इवन दैट्स फॉर गुड डेज। ठीक है, गुड डेज यानी कि जो मूव कर रहे हैं। दिस वॉज थर्सडे फ्राइडे मंडे, ऑलरेडी इनमें मुझे कुछ सस्पिशियस नज़र आया, तो मैं इतना वो नहीं, इनको बहुत मैं केयरफुल पर ट्रीट करना शुरू करता हूँ। तो ये मेरा फीडबैक है बेसिकली इसके बाद। बाकी मैं कुछ ये चीज़ें कहूँगा ज़रूरी कि प्राइमरी फोकस शुड बी एन इमोशनल कंट्रोल। ठीक है, प्रॉफिट P&L तो ऑब्वियसली सब प्रोडक्ट होता है उसका, यानी जब हम प्रोसेस फॉलो करेंगे, नज़्म ज़ब्त डिसिप्लिन सही रखेंगे। ठीक है, एग्रेसिव कैपिटल प्रेजर्वेशन ठीक है होनी चाहिए थ्रू स्मॉल पोजिशन। जहाँ एक ये भी देखा गया था रेंज एक्सपैंड होगी, तो रेंज एक्सपेंशन में मुझे 1 कॉन्ट्रैक्ट यूज़ करना है, क्योंकि रिस्क इतना ज़्यादा बढ़ जाता है कि वो स्टॉप लॉस बड़ा रखने मस्ट हो जाता है। ठीक है, लिटरली मस्ट हो जाता है, इसलिए मुझे ये करना था। तो ये भी चीज़ मैंने आइडेंटिफाई की है कि रेंज एक्सपैंड हो जाए तो हमने अपना रिस्क डाल करना एग्रेसिवली।